got what's that called? That stuff like that frozen onto it and it up and newspapers. So we played. Oh, neat. Yeah, I went through my building.
Kenny and Shari have asked that during the brit that it be as meaningful as possible, and so I'd like to ask, you know how it is generally when people come to a brit, people are milling about in the back, and there often is no sense of connection to really the beauty of this moment. If I can ask everyone to come as close to the front as possible, I'd be most appreciative. About leave some flash?
What?
There's no problem.
Okay.
I figured it was me.
I get my first cataract.
I'm sorry. Okay. Make sure that everyone is filming here. Shari, just before we begin, if I can ask the big sisters to come in. Shari, before the baby comes in, if you can bring the girls in, I'd appreciate it. Just Keshet and Aliza. Thelma, 1 second. Hold on. Shari? Yeah, bring Aliza here and Keshet. Where's Keshet? Okay, before we begin, there's a wonderful minhag in our bayit that we really have. I don't know whether this is going to work out so well, but we do have some presents for Keshet and Aliza. So, look at this. And we even have some crayons. Very well today. Unbelievable. And to make sure that no one feels slighted, we have the exact same presents. Look at this. It's a parachute jump.
No?
Because it's a momentous occasion for Keshet and Aliza. They're now the big sisters. So, mazel tov to both of them. As you can see, they're very into this. Very excited.
Should it be on 60 or 125?
No, 125. 125 is fine.
Hi, sweetie.
The custom is that the baby is brought in, and the people who carry the baby in are called the psatas. You know, in Megillat Ruth, in the scroll of Ruth, which we're about ready to read, it was Ruth who said to Naomi, "Ba'ashetelchi eleh, wherever you walk, I will walk." And I've often thought that one of the reasons we bring the baby in accompanied by someone so close is the statement that alone in life is difficult to endure. And our prayer and our hope is that this baby, as the baby grows into adulthood, with his own loneliness, always feel the presence of others and the presence of God. So as the baby is brought in, please join me.
Flash isn't going off.
Wait 1 second. My father will take it from you.
We'll get the...
My father.
Okay, let me do that.
וידבר אלינו משה לאמור פנחס בן אלעזר בן אהרון הכהן הישיב אסכם בני ישראל כנוס כינוסי בסוכם ולא כינוס בני ישראל וכינוסי לכן אמור הנני נושא לעזריסי שלום אשרי שמחת חי וישכון חצך
Friends, the baby is now placed into this chair. Let me just show you what this is. This says, Baruch haba, it's a greeting to the child. Zehakise shel Eliyahu Hanavi. This is Elijah's chair. In the book of Ruth, it is said that from Ruth came David Hamelech, King David. And from King David will come the Messiah. And it's Elijah the prophet, it's Eliyahu Hanavi, who announces the coming of the Mashiach, who will announce the coming of the Messiah. And as every child is born into the world, the prayer and the hope is that we are a bit closer to redemption. That if the Mashiach is knocking on the door, that we make sure to be here to open the door for the Mashiach and help the Mashiach come. So the child is placed into the chair of Elijah in the prayer that this child make his contribution towards that time of Geulah, of redemption. Please again join us. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishri, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagilavi, Bimera Digamenu, Yabo Eleinu, Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David.
Zaki say Sheli Yom HaChabris, she's Galebi Oavim Elob Yomeinu, Lishuas Chakvis Adonai, Sifalti Lishuas Adonai Mitzosecha Seisi, Eli Yom HaChabris, Hinei Shecha Lefanecha, Amod Aimini, Vesomecheni, Sifalti Lishuas Adonai, Sasanochi Alimasecha, Kmotzei Shalom, Shalom Avlovei, Sasach Melamom Nechsham, אשרי סוכת וישכון חצרך ואהבתו בייסך קדושך לך.
Finally, the baby is given to the sandak. The sandak holds the baby. In the works of Kabbalah, the mystical works, it is said that this moment is a simulation of Akiva of the binding of Isaac. Parent and child held tight. But the message of the binding of Isaac is that the child lives. And this is our prayer, of course, depending on Jared's son. That we know health, life, and indeed I would add, as the Akiva speaks of a special relationship between God and Adam and his people, think to this moment touches upon that relationship as well. Our Moel is Rabbi David Fold, close friend, a wonderful, wonderful Moel. And the father will be appointing Rabbi Fold as his emissary. Let's listen.
Take the focus out of it. No. Would you designate your shliach from your son? Would you have? Definitely. That's your mom.
Shows Bochat to Adonai L'Machlam Asher Kedishon Tzavzav Yitzmanu Amira.
Amen. Bochat to Adonai L'Heina Melech Olam Asher Kedishon B'mitzvah Sav Zivanu Lach Misa B'Risa Shel Abraham Avinu.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Cleanliness or cleanliness
grandparents to come forward to show it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidash yedid bibeten v'chol kfishei rasam v'tzesa al chasam ba'os b'ris kodesh al kein b'scharzo sel chai cholkeinu tzirenu tzavei l'hatzidu shereinu mishachat l'man b'so shesam yisarenu Baruch atah Adonai korei sabri.
If you come close to everybody. everybody. And please. Sharon.
Keshet Aliza. Yes, Keshet Aliza. They're happy, right? Probably right. Could you do me a favor?
I'll hold this for you. I'm going to hold this for you.
Let's listen closely as we name the child. Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu Kayem et hayeved hazeh laviv ulimo V'yikarei shmo v'Yisrael Akiva Sinai Ben Chanoch Henach v'Sharon Chana Yizmach ha'av b'yotzei chalatzah V'tagel imo b'fri v'tna ככתוב ישמח אביך ואמך ותגר יולדתך ונאמר ואעבור עלייך ואראך מתבוססת בדמייך ואומר לך בדמייך חיי ואומר לך בדמייך חיי ונאמר זכה לעולם בריתו דבר ציווה ל1,000 דור אשר קראת את אברהם ושבועתו ליצחק ויעמידיה ליעקב לחוק לישראל ברית עולם ונאמר ויאמר לאברהם את יצחק בנו בן 8 ימים כאשר ציווה אותו אלוהים הודו לאדוני כי טוב כי לעולם חסדו הודו לאדוני כי טוב כי לעולם חסדו עקיבא סיני בן חנוך חנך ושרון חנה זה הקטן גדול יהיה כשם שנכנס לברית כן ייכנס לתורה ולחופה ולמעשים טובים ונאמר
שביח אבוסינו אברהם יצחק יעקב ויברך זרחני עקיבא סיני בן חנוך חנך שם שנכנס לבריס ברור שנכנס לבריס כן ייכנס לתלכו במעשים טובים ונאמר אמן
סימן טוב ומזל טוב ומזל טוב וסימן טוב סימן טוב ומזל טוב ומזל טוב וסימן טוב סימן טוב ומזל טוב ומזל טוב וסימן First of all, shkoach to the Moel to Rabbi Fold. The wonderful Moel. Just wonderful. Abba and Ima have prepared a few thoughts and a few words. So please, as you remain standing, it's just a few moments, if you can give them your undivided attention.
With a few words.
I'd just like to talk for a few minutes about our son's new name. When naming a child, you try to draw on the strengths that the name or the person implies. Rabbi Akiva, who was born in the last years of the temple and was probably the most influential Jewish scholar of his time, was known for many strengths. Three of these were particularly meaningful to us when we were thinking of a name. Firstly, Rabbi Akiva was a tremendous scholar and a teacher. The story is well known how Akiva began studying the Torah at a late age, and how after a relatively short period of time, he became a prominent teacher, amassing 12,000 students. The Medrash says that the depth of Rabbi Akiva's understanding was such that Moshe Rabbeinu himself could not grasp certain laws which Rabbi Akiva taught. Second, Rabbi Akiva was a lover of Israel and was a fighter for Am Yisrael. He was born near Jerusalem, and he felt an intimate attachment with the land. He taught that one should not leave Israel except for good reason, and that being buried in Israel was like resting, as it were, under God's throne. He was well known for his allegiance to Bar Kokhba during the revolt against Rome. Thirdly, and perhaps most meaningfully, Rabbi Akiva was a Tana, a scholar and a leader who had incredible sensitivity. The Talmud is full of references to his compassion. He taught, "V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, zeh klal gadol b'Torah." Love your neighbor as yourself. This is the most important lesson of the Torah. This powerful statement teaches us that when in our observance of all commandments, it is most important to be aware and sensitive to our fellow human beings. He was a Rodei Shalom. He pursued peace. He always tried to bridge gaps between people. He was very sensitive to the needs of women, and as an example, he ruled that witnesses testifying to a husband's death must not be too closely examined so that the wife be spared from remaining an aguna, if possible. He also taught, Ezu Ashir, Kol sheyesh lo isha no'eh b'ma'asim. Who is rich? Whoever has a wife who is adorned with good deeds. That is the truth which I know very well. All of these midot values, which are epitomized by Rabbi Akiva, are also values which have been taught to us, Shari and I, by our parents. Compassion, sensitivity, love of Zion, the desire to study and teach. These are what we want to transmit to our children. Our Akiva was born on Erev Yom Yerushalayim and has entered into the brit on Erev Shavuos. And so a name with the message of Rabbi Akiva seemed particularly appropriate. When we named our other children, we looked for names with meaning that we could take home with us and incorporate into our family. When we named Keshet, we had in mind the message of trust in Hashem and hope, which are implied by God's covenant with Noah over the rainbow. Keshet is a very colorful little rainbow. A little out of it now. And all that know her know that she's a 3-year-old full of song and dance and a lot of spirit, and sometimes a little shy. Aliza Nechama was named after her grandmother, who passed away that year. She brought with her true Nechama, consolation, and happiness, and is always Aliz. She is the epitome of joy. Shari and I pray that in a similar way, Akiva will help us instill in our house the aspects of Torah, the love of Eretz Yisrael, combined with sensitivity, as exemplified by his namesake. Akiva's middle name, Sinai, is in recognition of today's twofold significance. We are in, right now, the Shloshes Yemei Hagbala, 3 days of preparation before Shavuos, when the Torah was given to the world, and when Bnei Israel camped at the foot of Har Sinai. Also, it is the 49th day of the Sphira, which corresponds to the highest of the 49 levels of purity which the Jewish people ascended to after they left Egypt, and culminating at the revelation at Sinai. Thanks to all of our friends and neighbors, and to Rabbi Weiss, who have been great helps to us in recent weeks. Shari and I are particularly grateful to our parents, who have been real lifesavers in helping us, and especially Shari's mom, another great lover of Israel, who has flown over from Israel to help us at this time. Thank you.
I'm a little shaking up a little. I feel good. Really want to thank everyone for joining us. And,
celebration of this mitzvah and our simcha today.
Friends, before we go downstairs, just for another moment, for me, this is an extraordinary moment as well. You see, I remember Shari when Shari was a teenager, coming to what I call the rap sessions. That's a 60s term, but it's a term and it was a happening that, with God's help, contributed to touching many, many souls. Kenny and Shari, they are a couple that rabbis are blessed with too seldomly. They are rare people. They are people who have grown tremendously in Torah, in observance and in religiosity. They are people of extraordinary, extraordinary sensitivity. When I think of Shari and I think of Kenny, I think of people who are so absolutely caring in their interpersonal relationships and in their commitment to Torah. When I think of you, Shari and Kenny, I think of people who love Eretz Israel and understand that this is a bridge and that the ultimate home is going and living in our homeland. And so for me, and for this Kihlah, for our Bayit, this truly is a very special moment. I wanted to especially welcome Kenny's parents who are with us. Kenny so often speaks about you. And I wanted to welcome Shari's Abba and Shari's Ima. And I want you to know that this past week, when we had a chance to talk, they really felt that it was imperative that the name of this child reflect that everything that you as a collective unit, each individually and together, have given to Shari and Kenny. And I think the naming of this child is truly a statement of their deep appreciation and deep love for each of you. And I want to welcome all of you for coming. If some of you are here for the first time, please don't be shy if you're ever in the area to join us in prayer, in learning, in social action. Join us in being identified with our people. Abba and Ima, father and mother, as is the custom, welcome everyone downstairs for a Sudat Mitzvah, for a special celebration and morning festival meal. Mazel tov to everyone. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov. Thanks. Mazel tov. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Touch you there. Yes, very nice. Tom was it? Those aren't interns. So you're still putting in like 70, 80 hours.
Huh? Set a fine example for them, and I'll let them know. Honored to have Rabbi Willick here from Young Israel, and I've asked him if he would say a few words to us.
Thank you very much. I'm featured as the person speaking before benching. That means that as soon as I finish, we're going to bench. I'm not going to speak too long. We better finish a meal while I'm talking. As a matter of fact, I'm taking my theme from the benching from Birchas HaMazon, when we say, V'al b'rischo shechosamtem b'b'sorenu, v'al Torah sochro shalimad tonu. We thank Hashem for the bris milah, and immediately thereafter we thank Hashem for the Torah which He has given us. And the Gemara teaches us that one must recite these two things, and moreover, that one must say bris before one says Torah. And it's somewhat perplexing. Why must bris, which is a particular, come before Torah, which is more general? One would have imagined that one has to first mention the more general aspect of Torah before the particular mitzvah of bris milah. Perhaps the answer is as follows. Bris milah symbolizes mesirus nefesh, symbolizes self-sacrifice, where a child actually believes as he enters fully into the covenant of Am Yisrael. And the Chazal are telling us over here that in order to fully acquire the Torah in terms of its practice and its study, an individual must first take upon himself this idea of Mesiras Nefesh, of self-sacrifice. And therefore, not only must we recite bris and Torah, but we must also put bris before Torah. This theme comes to mind especially this morning as we make a bris milah right before, the day before we're going to accept the Torah, which is also a bris. And it's beautifully fitting that this bris milah takes place the day before Torah, the day before Shavuos, to once again reiterate this theme for us, that bris must come before Torah, that self-sacrifice must come before Kabbalas HaTorah, which we celebrate on Shavuos. Not many of you know that Kenny was a Talmud of mine many years ago. Let's talk back with Nemi. It was about 12 or 13 years ago in Yeshiva University. He was a freshman, fresh out of Washington, D.C., and he came into my class with a bunch of friends from Washington, and it was great. We learned, what did we learn? Masechta Beitza? I remember. Masechta Beitza. And I think we even finished the Masechta, right? At the end of the year, he didn't finish it. I remember at the end of the year, my wife baked a cake which was shaped like an egg. That's what I remember. So, and that enterprise of coming to the yeshiva and combining a Torah education, which was somewhat rigorous, together with a college education to lead to gainful employment, required self-sacrifice, no doubt about it. Other college students were taking it easy and on the campuses in those years. They had a good time doing whatever they pleased on the campus. And even some yeshiva boys took it a little bit easier, but not a boy who was involved totally in his Torah studies as well as in his Mada studies. This is self-sacrifice, which leads to the acquisition of Torah. And when Kenny moved in to this community, and I met him and his wife Shari, I saw that, thank God, the fruits of his labor in my class in the yeshiva and other classes had not only was not lost, but actually had blossomed, as Rabbi Weiss mentioned earlier, to new proportions, new growth in study and practice and teaching of Torah. And so it's my blessing that Akiva Sinai, whose entire name is a Torah name, whose bris takes place the day before Shavuos, our bris Chasamta V'Psarenu, will be followed by Be'al Torah Schashali Madatanu, that the father and mother will see nachas from Akiva Sinai, from their daughters, from their entire family, the grandparents should see nachas. All of us should be privileged to have the fortitude of bris Chasamta V'Psarenu, and all of us will then be blessed with Torah Schashali Madatanu, with Kabbalas HaTorah B'Simcha. Amen v'Amen. Mazel tov. Amen.
This will be it for a while. Thank God. Continues on page 81. 81. And the opening will begin at page 81. Opening right time.
Rishus Morai Messiah Tach Bashir Pius Vasai V'Samach Natz Vasai Baruch Haba B'Shem Adonai Rishus Morai Messiah Baruch Eloheinu Shalom
Right, we hold the finger from page 70 and skip over to page 84 for the Hara.
Rachamanu Yivarech Avi Hayeled V'Yimau V'Yizku L'Galo L'Chakmo Miyom Hashmini V'Halat Yeiratzeh Davo V'Yadonai Elohav V'Yimau Amen.
Rachmanu Yivarech et Bavris Hamilo Asher Sos Lasos Tzedek V'Gilo V'Yishalim Polo Maskurto Kefulo V'Yitnei L'Malo L'Malo
Amen. Rachamam Yivarech Bavris Hamilo Asher Sos Tzedek V'Gilo Rachmanu Yivarech Rachanim Olish Munad B'Yidal V'Divol Elamuna V'Yizkeler Os B'nei Hashkina Shalosh B'nei Bashana
Rachamam Yivarech Hamo B'Saro Harlo Baram Matzas B'nei Hamila Isha Yorei V'Rach Aleva V'Avodato P'Sula Im Shlo Sheila Lo Yasa La Rachamam Yishlach Lanu Mishicho Holech Tamim B'Zkut Chatnenu Lo Tamim L'Vaser B'Torot L'Vot L'Nichumim L'Am Echad Mefuzar Meforad Bein Ha'amim Tzedek Asher Lukach V'Yolam Aduchan Kiso Kashemesh V'Yohalam V'Yoled Kono V'Yadarto V'Yiglo
Amen. Amen. Page 70 is about it. Rahman is Aleinu Malchut Yisrael Amen. Yiru Es Adonai Keshet Aliza Yeh Machzor Yirayah K'Shir Ma'ashem V'Ra'elu V'Darjei Adonai Lo Yachzeru Choto Hadu Adonai Kito K'Li'olam Ma'asav Paseach Es Yadecha U'Mashviach L'Chol Charatzon Baruch HaGever Asher Yilach V'Haya Adonai Mivtacho Na'ayim Gam Zakati V'Lo V'Yiti Tzadiketa V'Zar V'Akesh V'Achem Adonayos Nama Yitem Adonai
I brought breakfast to
Amen.
Yoni. Yeah.
The end of August.
The 19th of August.
Chol Yisrael, Yehei Lanu, Yehei Lanu,
Oh, he's right. Oh, what a gorgeous.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really doing all right. He's bad about accepting that. You were anticipating more stuff, huh? Yeah, thank you. So you're leaving now? Yeah. We'll speak. I'll speak to you. Be well. Bye. I'll be before. Yeah, you're ready?
Wave, bye-bye.
Now to clean up the toys. It's time to clean up the toys. June 15th, Keshet's graduation. Made a lot of noise. It's time to clean up the toys. Alright, where do those shoes go, Keshet? It's time to clean up the shoes. Where do those shoes go? It's time. Show the where those shoes go. Yay, Keshet, clean up the shoes. All right, Aliza, where do the dollies go? These dollies. Oh, put them in their carriages. Just go to sleep. Want to put them in the stroller? Clean up the shoes. It's time to clean up the toys. We've had a lot of fun and made a lot of noise. It's time to clean up the toys. All right, we do have a few more things to clean up. Who wants to put this in baby Akiva's crib? Okay, good. And this goes in the bathtub. You want to bring this to the bathtub? Good. Doesn't always go so well. I should focus on baby Akiva now.
Well, is he making his film debut?
Yes.
Other than Under Duress?
Great! Okay, here, where does this go? Very good. This goes here. The shoes go here. And
Okay, looks like the room is pretty clean.
very good. Yay! Okay, let me just put all the laundry over here. Oh, here's Mr. Potatoes Head's nose. We almost
Keshet
forgot
and
about
Aliza.
this.
You know what? I want Keshet and Aliza to introduce baby Akiva to our viewing audience. Okay?
Okay, where's our baby Akiva?
Where is baby Akiva?
Yay! Okay.
Oh,
What can you tell me about Akiva?
He sleeps a lot.
Yeah, he sleeps a lot. Does he eat a lot? He eats a lot too, right? And
Where is he, Aliza? And what's his name?
What's his name?
Akiva.
Right. And how old is he?
1.5.
That's how old you are, 1.5. How old? I guess how old are you?
3 years old.
Right. And today you finished.
Two.
Right. You
I
got
want to 1, 2.
You went to school. You're going to be 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day. Who wants to hold baby Akiva?
Me.
Okay. You sit down. And how do you sit down? Very nice. And you get to hold Akiva. Here we go.
I'm very safer.
See the family resemblance?
See.
Oh, very nice. Want to give him a little kiss?
Smile, Akiva. Oh, a cute kiss from Keshet.
Akiva is 2 weeks old today. Now he's 2 weeks old and just went to his doctor's appointment. And he gained 1 pound and 3 ounces.
Oh, Aliza. Oh, so
Oh, very nice. Will you give me a kiss? Okay,
Okay.
very nice, Akiva.
I have to excuse the little crumb in our... There's a little crumb on the viewfinder.
I never saw it.
It might come out, but that's all right. We'll get it fixed.
Hey, want me to film you?
Right? You can hold Akiva a little bit. What do you think?
Want to hold Akiva a little? Would you like to sing some songs?
I'm going to keep a little.
How about some... You want a Baby Beluga soundtrack?
How Baby Beluga? That's great.
Oh, who was that copycat?
How about, do you want to sing those songs that we learned about Paro with pajamas?
And so I will come in my pajamas, and so I will come in my pajamas, and so
Ay. Good. How about on log Omer? We light a great big bonfire with a bow and okay, very good. Those are from the tape that we got, right? From Yosef and Doriti and Ezra and Chai and Yermi. We love that tape. We've been listening to it. And we tried to listen to it, and we thought that people would have a baby on Lag BaOmer. But what happened? It took a long time to have this baby. We were waiting a week and a half later. But then he came. You ready, Billion? There's a zoom. The red light means it's on, right?
Right, and there's a zoom button on the side.
Right here?
Uh-huh.
Okay, one of these days I'll learn how to work this. So, okay, we're zooming in on Akiva and his Ava. All right, do the girls want to hold Akiva one more time? You see the family resemblance? Oh, there is a crumb in this viewfinder.
Uh-huh.
Look at that. How are we going to get it out of there? That, if you see that crumb, that is a crumb from our...
It's a crumb from a Danish.
From a Danish.
Yes, he was eating while he was filming.
Yeah, yes, he was eating. Yes, he was a very diligent filmer at the breast. He even took
Akiva, show them how big you are. Show everybody how tall you are. Eee. Oh boy, look how tall he was. Ew. Up and down. Oh. Flying baby through the air.
All right, Keshet Aliza.
Baby Akiva. Oh, baby,
Should I film his different body parts, like his nose?
Is your mommy home?
All right, we're going to get his
Are
nose.
you safe and snug and so happy? Baby Akiva in the deep blue sea. Swim so wild and swim so free. Shamayim above and the sea below. You're a little baby boy, so cute. Oh, baby Akiva.
This is my home. So happy.
Yay.
Okay, it's getting very late. And then Akiva's time to say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say bye-bye. Akiva's waving. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Akiva's waving bye-bye.
Where are you, Akiva? Okay,
And
bye,
bye-bye.
Akiva. All right.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Good